Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do me a favor, before we get started, I need for you to hit this like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need for you to hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. Also, I need for you to check this link out that I have pinned. Just click on it, check it out. So today we're going to talk about NVIDIA stock. So I found something interesting, and that is that there was a ban placed on NVIDIA chips as far as being exported to China and Hong Kong. They put a ban on that back in September of 2022. Were you aware of that? So, all NVIDIA chips that were previously exported to China and Hong Kong, they put a ban on it. So, no more NVIDIA stocks going to China. No more NVIDIA stocks going to Hong Kong back in September 2022. Well, it just so happens that China has these chips anyway, regardless of whether they're banned or not. And the chips are being held by the Chinese military and the Chinese government. They are also at their research institutes and their universities. So there is a ban on NVIDIA chips going to China, going to Hong Kong, but they have them anyway. Don't you find that to be interesting? So these chips, they could fuel a breakthroughs when it comes to artificial intelligence. So there is a restriction imposed on buying these. However, what they're doing over in China, they have the chips and they're saying, oh, and they're studying them. They're studying them, and they are getting any information that they can. So the chips, again, they can fuel breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, right? So these breakthroughs were so important that they put a restriction on them going to these areas, China and Hong Kong, which ends up having them anyway. So as far as the stock goes, NVIDIA is still doing well, even though there is a ban. There's a ban. Were you aware that there's a ban? So NVIDIA is still doing well. So this is what it did last week. Last week it went up. Okay, this was the trend from last week. Starting here, ending up here. So it's still doing well in spite of the ban. So looking at a year ago, what it did in 1 year. So in 1 year, the annual rate of return was 236.11%. So 236% increase. That's what happened last year. Annual rate of return for 1 year was 236%. Not 8%, not 10%, not 12%. 236%. So that's what NVIDIA did last year. You look at it now, it's still doing well, even though there are restrictions on it and bans on it. So the stock is doing well. But just to show you why it's important not to just rely on one stock, it's because you don't know what's going to happen. Did you Did you realize that there's a ban on this? Right? They don't want certain people to have access. And guess what? They have access anyway. They're studying it. They're researching. These chips are at their research institutes. That's just how important these chips are. Right? So there's a ban on it. They have them anyway. And the stock is still doing well in spite of the ban. All right. So that's just how important these chips are, that people are studying them to get any information out of them that they can, to discover any breakthroughs in artificial intelligence. So this is like clear evidence that they're studying what people are doing over here in the US. And can't get more obvious than that, right? You got products that are restricted from you having. So that is what is going on as far as NVIDIA stock. So if you are not in the stock market, or you have children, say you have teenage children, maybe they're 15, 16, and your 15-year-old is not in the stock market. Well, I have something for you. I have a stock market class. You can check this link below. And 15, that's a great age to get started. Even what would be even better is if you had been investing for your child from birth, right? That would have been best. But if that was not done, the next best, you have a 15-year-old that's not in the stock market. You have a 15-year-old who does not know how to buy a stock. And I wouldn't expect them to know, because it's not in the school system, and it's not in the school system on purpose. So you have a 15-year-old who does not know how to buy a stock. I have the education tool that will show you how to buy stocks, and more importantly, how compound interest works. More importantly, the plan for the future, where you can actually see the calculations and where you're headed. So you have a teenager in your house. They don't have this information. I have the information here. Check it out if you care anything about your children. All right. So do me a favor. If you like the channel, I need for you to hit this like button. If you are not a subscriber, I need for you to hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. Also, before you leave, the link that I have that is pinned, click on that link. Scroll down to the bottom. You'll see the word petitions. Sign the petition. In particular, look for the one that says Ann Baker. It's at the bottom. Sign the petition. It takes 2 minutes of your time. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. And on your way out, hit that like button. All right. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.